In this moment, name one quality of a master negotiator.
Dave, when I think of a master negotiator, I think of not one thing, but many. A master negotiator is like a fractal, and they bring together a plethora of skills.
It all focuses around preparation, but what that means is you have to understand what the person you're negotiating with is looking for. Obviously, you go into a negotiation, you want to know what you're looking for, but as often as not, somebody who goes into it doesn't think of what's the other guy looking for. And to me, the most successful negotiation is when it's a win-win.
The word that comes instantly to mind is the one quality, is empathy, that if we are able to put ourselves in the shoes of the person we are negotiating with and develop some sense of connection so that we're not opposites opposing each other. I find this is extremely powerful to get into the mind and heart and aspirations of someone who feels like they are an opponent until the moment I ask them what their aspiration is here.
I think one of the key ones would be the ability to frame your message in a way where the other person embraces what you're trying to do and is motivated to listen to you objectively and to try to assist you in advancing the negotiation in the way you prefer.
And it seems to me that with a master negotiator, one needs to resist the temptation to go immediately to the chief complaint. One needs to make certain to explore the whole person and to listen at all of those levels to really know that person before proceeding in any direction.
The quality that I recognize as someone that can really negotiate, make decisions, is a quality of awareness. And it's not in the very conscious, ordinary conscious mind that you use this particular quality of awareness, which is really witnessing.
In this moment, the one quality that comes most to mind is being present. And what that means to me is literally listening as opposed to speaking, as opposed to formulating. It's being present to the nonverbal language that's being communicated, as well as what's actually being said. The intention, the passion, the emotion behind what's being said. So it's about being present.
The witness is the one that is able to be the listener. It's the one that is the one that has the heart open, relaxed and open and being there. It is the beginning of consciousness, really.
Your ability to put yourself in somebody else's shoes. I think that's a critical thing to do, because if you're able to sort of superimpose yourself in that position, you're able to better understand what that person might be looking to acquire or achieve through their negotiations. And by understanding that, or having a handle on that, that gives you a very good opportunity to come up with creative solutions, or maybe even identify something that you don't have any value for, and to get value from the other person you're negotiating with.
I think master negotiators have to be adaptive. I think master negotiators meet the people where they're at and adapt to what the people want to do, what they feel they need to do, and work with them in the space that they need to work.
They have in one hand their ethics, and in the other hand they carry their own truth and bring those into every situation. So with all of their tools and their respect and their balance and their centeredness, they become master negotiators in the moment.
Likewise, the master negotiator needs to know the complete environment of the person with whom they're negotiating. What are their enablers? Where are their supports coming from? What are their barriers? What's safe for them?
The most important one that really resonated with me is the quality of fluidity. And what I mean by fluidity is not the sense of flexibility where you have a position but you're willing to negotiate on a position, but coming in with a fluid mindset where let's explore the options that are there, and let's get to know the details of what's being presented and the needs, and listen.
Well, I believe the top quality is honor, and everything else flows from that. If a person is honorable, they will be trustworthy, they will be respectful, they will have integrity, they'll tell the truth in everything, and they will work for the greater good rather than the lowest common denominator.
There are two types of salesmen. One is somebody who sells products, the other one is someone who sells solutions to needs and problems. Which one do you think makes more money? And I look at it and very clearly think it's the second one who makes more money. So every time I'm involved in negotiation, I'm always trying to present what I want in a way in which the other person sees what's in it for them, and hopefully that allows us to advance the negotiation.
Bringing an honest heart and interest in the actual negotiation process makes it more meaningful for both parties and makes the environment safe to have those conversations.
The best way to have a good negotiation is to come up with at least one option to a preferred choice. So in other words, two options. Once you've got two options, you have a much better negotiating position to get a result that is closer to what works for you.
I find to be important in this moment, which is creativity, taking those pieces and building off the different parties that are involved in the negotiation and making something that makes sense.
It reminded me of a comment made by Wynton Marsalis about jazz musicians, and what he said is that when jazz musicians are on, it's like a good negotiation. And he said really the beauty of any good negotiation is not so much in what you say, but how you respond to the other person.
In my mind, the best way to negotiate is face-to-face. You know, today we have email, we have text messaging, and there's too many cases where 12 texts go back and forth or emails go back and forth, and the point is completely missed, whereas if you sit down with the other side and you show your trust and respect for the other side, and your personality is known by the other side, and you know the other side's personality, you can then come to negotiate something quite valuable. So it's truly, for me, a respect and an ability to work with the other side, which means personalities and understanding each other's drivers, and working within the scope and the bounds that both parties have.
It's about listening to the other party, understanding their needs, and to know that what you're looking for is being heard by the other party. That's the very best negotiation. That's when there can never be anything but true success, if both parties have pure intention and are truly present.
The reality is that you can't negotiate alone, and it's a reality that most of us forget. We need the other side, and so if we understand the other side and we become attentive to that, and they become attentive in return, and there's that reciprocity, and there's that back and forth, and you're listening so hard so you know how you want to respond, and you've got to know in the beauty of that moment. For me, it's a beautiful song when it happens.